What's up, Commanders fans? The offseason is in full swing, and Washington is doing everything it can to build a team that can compete at the highest level. With last season's incredible 12-5 run and an appearance in the NFC Championship game, the expectations for 2025 are higher than ever. General Manager Adam Peters has been aggressive in making moves, bringing in elite talent like Debo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil. But could there still be one more major addition on the horizon? Before we dive into this exciting possibility, take a second to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring you the best Commanders content out there. Now, let's get into it. Stefon Diggs is one of the most dynamic wide receivers of the past decade. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler, a 2-time All-Pro, and he's had multiple 1,000-yard seasons under his belt. But here's something that makes this conversation even more interesting. He grew up right here in the DMV area and starred at the University of Maryland before being drafted by the Minnesota Vikings in 2015. Now, as a free agent coming off a tough ACL injury, Diggs is looking for his next opportunity. Could Washington be the perfect landing spot? Let's break it down. After getting drafted by the Vikings, Diggs quickly became a star. In 2020, Minnesota traded him to Buffalo, where he played a massive role in helping Josh Allen develop into one of the NFL's best quarterbacks. But after a few rocky seasons with the Bills, Diggs was dealt to Houston before the 2024 season. Unfortunately, his time with the Texans was cut short due to an ACL tear. Now, at 31 years old and coming off a serious injury, he's still without a team. That begs the question, should the Commanders make a move? Washington has already added a game-changing receiver in Debo Samuel to pair with Terry McLaurin. But bringing in Diggs would give the Commanders an absolutely lethal trio of veterans, pass catchers for their new franchise quarterback, Jayden Daniels. Imagine an offense where Daniels has McLaurin, Samuel, and Diggs all on the field at the same time. That's nightmare fuel for opposing defenses. Even though Diggs isn't the burner he once was, he's still a savvy route runner with great hands and the ability to make plays after the catch. He would bring leadership, experience, and a proven ability to make plays in big moments. And let's not forget, this guy is a Maryland native. The idea of him coming home to finish his career would be a fantastic story for Commanders fans. While it's fun to dream about a McLaurin-Samuel-Diggs trio, the reality is that Washington may not see Diggs as the best fit for their future plans. Yes, he's a proven veteran, but he's also coming off a serious injury, and the team might prefer to get younger at the position instead of bringing in another player over 30. Another factor to consider is Diggs' personality. He's a passionate player who has never been shy about demanding the ball. In the right locker room, that fire can be a positive. But in a situation where Washington is trying to develop a young quarterback, do they really want a veteran receiver constantly asking for more targets? Adam Peters and Dan Quinn have done a great job of building a strong locker room culture, and they may not want to risk disrupting that. The Commanders also have the option to add another receiver in the NFL draft next month. With a deep wide receiver class, they could bring in a young, explosive playmaker who can grow with Jayden Daniels. If Washington is thinking long-term, this may be the smarter play. Speaking of wide receivers, let's talk about Debo Samuel. When Washington traded for him, it was seen as a huge move to help the offense. But after some workout videos surfaced online, some fans and analysts started questioning whether he was in shape. Well, Debo had a response for them. That don't move me. Samuel isn't letting the criticism get to him, and honestly, he shouldn't. It's the off-season. Players are still working their way into peak condition, and Samuel has plenty of time to get ready before the season starts. His physical style of play makes him one of the most dangerous weapons in the league, and if he's fully healthy, he's going to be a major problem for defenses in 2025. Jones was drafted by the New York Giants in 2019 as the 6th overall pick, and expectations were sky high. The Giants were hoping they had found their next Eli Manning. But as we all know, things didn't quite work out that way. He showed flashes of potential, but inconsistency, injuries, and a struggling supporting cast made it tough for him to take that next step. In 2022, Jones led the Giants to a playoff win over the Minnesota Vikings, and the team rewarded him with a massive 4-year, $160 million contract in 2023. But instead of building on that success, injuries and poor play derailed his 2023 season. By 2024, he was out of New York, landing briefly in Minnesota before being shipped off to Indianapolis this offseason. Ross Tucker from 33rd Team has an interesting take on this. He believes Daniel Jones could be this year's version of Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield, a quarterback who struggled with his original team, bounced around a little, and then found success in a fresh environment. Tucker even called his shot early, saying, "I'm calling my shot right here, right now in March, more than 5 months before he'd even be in position to take a meaningful snap with his new team, the Indianapolis Colts." A bold claim, right? But Tucker makes some good points. We've seen quarterbacks revive their careers after leaving the pressure of being a first-round savior. Just look at Baker Mayfield. The former #1 pick struggled in Cleveland, bounced around Carolina and LA, and then found new life with Tampa Bay in 2023. He led the Buccaneers to a division title and a playoff win, earning himself a new 3-year, $100 million contract. Tucker argues that Jones could follow a similar path, especially now that he's in a situation where expectations are lower, and he doesn't have to be the immediate savior of a franchise. Now, before we all jump on the Daniel Jones comeback tour, let's be real, he's got some major obstacles to overcome. Beating out Anthony Richardson. The Colts have their own young quarterback in Richardson, and they're heavily invested in him. Unless Richardson struggles or gets injured, Jones might not even get the chance to prove himself. Durability issues. Jones has dealt with multiple injuries in recent seasons, including a torn ACL. If he can't stay healthy, all of this talk about a career revival won't mean much. Turnovers and decision-making. One of Jones's biggest issues in New York was his tendency to turn the ball over. If that continues in Indianapolis, he won't last long as a starter. So, Commanders fans, what do you think? Should Washington take a chance on Stefon Diggs and bring him home? Or would it be better to go younger and add another playmaker through the draft? And what are your thoughts on Debo Samuel shutting down his critics? Drop a comment below and let us know. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be bringing you non-stop coverage of the Commanders all off-season long, so stay tuned for more updates. Thanks for watching, and as always, hail to the Commanders!